Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hard Cannon Podcast. I'm your host, Epic Ray, back for another just a regular bonus episode. We're just gonna sit and chit chat and talk about the things that we used to enjoy in our lives, but still do anyway. And we're back for another D&D episode. But this time, joining me with Remy is Mari's back, and she's coming to share some of her stories that she had doing the D&D campaigns with us. And I think she has one now, and I think she's a little fired up to tell us about it.
Fired up because I've been mad at you since it happened.
Go ahead.
Mad
You
for
have the
what? The
floor.
last 5 years?
Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay,
7 years.
was. Oh my god. How long ago? 2019. We were doing our Disney campaign. I had a character that was a rogue because they were a pirate from Treasure Planet, which, for a little backstory for you guys, Treasure Planet is my absolute favorite Disney movie. And we were playing, and Raheem's like, okay, we're going to go through this particular scene in Treasure Planet. And I don't remember what I did, but then he turned around and smirked at me. And I was like, Raheem smirking is never a good thing. Smirks at me and just goes, the doc's dead. And I was like, did you really just kill off one of my favorite characters?
It was not intentional.
Hate it.
Believe me, it was not intentional.
I know it was not intentional. It doesn't mean that I can still be mad at you for it.
Because spoiler alert is spoiler alert. Treasure Planet is actually one of my top 5 favorite Disney movies. So it was once I realized what I did, I'm like, that's probably not going to go over well.
Nope, it did not go over well. So he turned around and he was like, okay, to make you feel better, I know you've been wanting a hoverboard, so here's your hoverboard. But you just have to fix it up. I went, okay. So I sat outside the tavern because my character was not old enough to be in the tavern. I sat outside the tavern and fixed my hoverboard. And maybe about like 2 sessions later after that, Raheem turns around and goes, so the parts that we need to fix the ship, the only place we can find them is in your hoverboard.
She was so
I will
mad
forever
at
be
me.
mad at him for that. I was.
Was that before or after the ship crashed?
This is before the ship crashed.
After.
After? Okay.
Oh yeah, because it crashed. No, it crashed because something went wrong, and when we looked at it to see what we could do to fix it, you went. So the only way to fix it is to use the parts from the hoverboard.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Bearing in mind for those listening, the ship in question was a literal like old Spanish galleon that we stuck rockets to.
Yeah, she was not happy with me. I think there must have been like 1 or 2 weeks before she actually like actually got a hello or something like that. She was not happy with me.
No. I was salty for a very long time.
To anyone who's actually played with me and actually and I was the DM. I played the campaigns very very loosely, but if you're not accustomed to trauma, I am not the DM for you. Like I try to stress that enough when people like they say like I want you to DM from my friends. I'm like, are you sure? Because if you're not accustomed to trauma, to loss, or the darker parts of life, I am not the DM for you. I need you to. I stress that with you.
Yeah, you are very devious, but which is funny in my mind because then I turn around and go, "Hey Raheem, we should do this," and I give you some really messed up idea.
You guys remember Cynthia?
Yes.
So she wanted to. I think she wanted to either play a pirate or something, and I was helping her build a character. And she said, "Like, can I get a pistol?" I'm like, "We can get you a pistol, but I have to find something." This is before they started adding revolvers and everything into the game. and I found a pistol for her, but this was a magical pistol. And what happens is if you roll a certain die, I believe it was a 1 or a 6, the gun would misfire, and the last bit of magic you used that it would fire off from, you would take that as damage. So there was very much a give and take with a lot of the weapons that I gave a lot of people. Like I think in the last video, I told in order to get Remy to get his relic of Beatrice, he had to surrender all of his weapons and his armor to get this relic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
that
a
was.
lot of things you did that we were just like, really?
I have a
I also
devious
think
mind.
Cynthia almost killed herself with that revolver too because of the.
Yes, she did. I think it was fire damage, and she ended up misfiring.
Yup.
It was
There's a
very
lot
very
of people that
difficult.
almost hurt themselves or did hurt themselves because of something you gave them.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, like a lot of times when I gave people things, it was for their benefit to build their character or something. It was never to harm them. And a lot of times I end up putting my foot in my own mouth, giving it to them, and they end up hurting themselves more than doing better.
Yeah. Unless it was me. I was a little chaos gremlin that took advantage of everything you gave me.
Like anytime I run into Greg, Greg always shouts out, whether we're talking for like a minute or whatever, he says like "Wall of Thorns." I'm like, dude, no.
Dragon has balls of fire or his fireball. Like, dear God.
So to give some context to the listeners, they were doing I think they were doing Beauty and the Beast, and this was the part when the villagers were coming to raid the castle. And the spell Wall of Thorns creates a literal wall of thorns, but the thing is that everyone who's in the area when the Wall of Thorns starts takes massive amount of damage. I think it's like 8d6 damage by stepping in and ending your turn in the Wall of Thorns. So the townspeople at the time were starting and they were firing cannons at the castle, and then what happened was I was planning on everyone fighting these townsfolks. Greg ended up putting a wall of thorns out and killing half the townfolk. So like they only had to fight like maybe 3 or 4 of them. They were already outnumbered at this point.
Yeah, and then somebody set the wall of thorns on fire.
That was Will.
Well, that sounds like a cool thing to do.
I think I was the only one that didn't get damage because I was off doing something else.
I think this is the battle where my character came down the stairs, saw the absolute shit show that was happening, and went, "All right."
I think my character was off doing something, and then I looked out the window, just saw all the flames, and went, I'm gonna stay here.
It's like, I'm going to the tavern and I'm going to drink it dry.
And
No,
like
I was in the castle. I just was not near those shenanigans.
there was also I don't think me and Remy spoke about this last time. There was a point where everyone was traveling through, I believe it was a swamp, and they encountered like this giant behemoth, and my intention was for you guys to talk to this behemoth, never to fight it. And I'm not sure who was Mr. Scrappy or whatever. Someone was dead set on fighting this thing. I'm like, if you fight this thing, you are all going to die. I couldn't actively openly say that, but like he's not attacking you guys. But someone was very gung ho about wanting to attack this thing. I'm not sure who it was.
It was one of the guys.
Sounds like a Ricardo thing to do.
Was it?
It really does. Or Brent.
I don't think Brent was in the Disney campaign.
He was at first.
He was? Okay.
at first, and then he just dropped off the face of the earth.
He tends to do that a lot.
I know.
Okay, I got the whole
I know it wasn't me.
No.
Yeah. I know with the
I was
Disney
a
campaign,
chaos
I
gremlin.
did.
I was not a murder gremlin. I was a chaos gremlin. There's a difference.
You are always a chaos gremlin, both in and out of game.
And you guys love me anyway.
Let's see here. Oh,
But yeah, no. I played campaigns where people are like murder hobos, and I'm like, nope. I'm just gonna sit here and be a chaos gremlin.
and like so like one of the recent campaigns that I DM'd for the this was only for at the time just 2 people, and what ended up happening was I played an NPC to help balance it out so they could actually be able to fight, because as much as I try and convince people not to do it, like you cannot build an entire party based on wizards, because you guys are easily going to die because wizards don't wear armor,
Correct.
and armor saves you guys unless you have like spells to shield yourself, which they did not. And what ended up happening was I built around this king who had stomped out all the magic in the kingdom, and one of the characters was related to the king, um, essentially by marriage. The character's aunt was married to the king, and what had happened was the king's wife ended up dying, and as a result of her dying, he stomped out all the magic in the kingdom. And what ended up happening was the character found this out, and they had essentially this
Wait, is this
one-on-one duel.
Luthor?
Say again?
This sounds like the King Pendragon from Merlin.
Is it?
Magic is the reason his wife died. So because of that, he bans all magic.
I have not read Pendragon. If this came from Pendragon, then this is news to me.
No, nope. Not Pendragon. King Pendragon from the Merlin series.
Oh,
Like the Merlin
Arthur
TV series.
Pendragon.
oh, gotcha. See, I had heard the series, but I was not entirely. I think I
Sure.
maybe saw 1 or 2 episodes, but I did not fully remember it. Like it's been a
Yeah,
while.
no,
Like it's
that
been
is.
a while.
Yep, nope. That's basically
Then
why he outlawed magic.
and then what was it? The person in question, she was an elf and a bard, and she had to essentially fight her uncle. And when it happened was she ended up she had ultimately had to take him out. But what happened was the other guy who was and also other words a chaos gremlin in his own way kept trying to rob her family, her other side of the family, when she kept trying to be the good person. And they balance each other off very, very well. When he wanted to do something extremely wrong, she was lawfully good in every campaign she does. She's that's the way she is. And he is chaotic. He's chaotic good. So they balance each other out very, very well, because she stops him from doing nonsense and he makes sure she goes the right way with the nonsense when it's necessary. So they very much balanced each other out.
That's good. It's always nice when you get those characters that that balance each other out. Even if you don't intend to have your players balance each other out, it's always nice when they do.
True. But so when you guys were building your initial characters, like what do you normally play as, like a race and a class? What do you mostly usually play as?
Um,
Rogue.
Say again, Mari.
I'm usually a half elf and a rogue.
Okay.
If I'm not a half elf, I'm always a rogue. I tend to also play. I'm not doing a rogue, sorceress. A sorceress a lot.
Okay.
But now I'm curious what my characters are. Nope,
It's
that's
just
not
rogue,
the
rogue, 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 rogue.
I'm bringing up my D&D Beyond. See what characters I have.
Uh, yeah, I know on my end, I mostly play paladins, but I know I started out D&D with the cleric, and I go for a multitude of different races, though it's mostly been how was it? I've only made a couple of characters, but it's basically just been human dwarf, I think a dragonborn, and a tabaxi, I think it is.
Because
I played a fairy at one point.
I think I probably played ranger, rogue, or fighter a lot, but once I dabbled in to figure out how to play monk, I enjoyed monk way too much.
The Fists of Fury.
Nah, man, the open fit, the style of the open fist is where it's at right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely rogue more often than not. I know I have a sorceress. I'm not always a half elf. It just seems to be my go-to. I have a dragonborn. I know that.
And
I think I
like
have one ranger.
I try to always encourage the players, like no matter what group I'm DMing, to always try and have a little bit of like variety, because I've done campaigns where I've had like 5 different people play 5 spellcasters and none of them are healers. There's no tank and anything like that. I'm like, you guys are going to be super squishy. There's a good chance you're going to die. And I stress this out with all the new players that I bring. It's like, when you come into the campaign, there's two rules. My goal is never to kill you guys. So if you die, it is a result of your poor choices, not mine. And like if you sass me, there's going to be consequence to your sass, whether it be good or bad.
Always. Oh, I learned that the hard way.
And
I
like
learned that the hard way.
and one of the things that I tried to always make sure is that you make sure like you have a deep dive into your character. Like, this person isn't just you. This person is an extension of you in some ways. Because the way I was taught D&D is that the character that you make, this person is like that personality that you can't really show people, but you're allowed to live this person in a fantasy type of way.
And
Yeah,
now
no, that
he
makes sense.
has- Yeah,
And based on the characters that I play,
I
I have
think my
apparently. Say again.
I think my favorite character I've ever played is actually, funny enough, not any character that I played in your campaigns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was
Was this
funny
with
enough.
Naomi?
Yes, yes, it
Okay.
was. It was. I loved Oceana. She was one of my favorite characters.
What was she?
Um, Funny enough, she was a half elf rogue, but she was a pirate.
Nice. Pirates are very
Pirate princess,
underrated.
to be specific. She was a pirate princess. So she was not only a pirate, but she was also royal. So that was just kind of fun to play with.
Ah, gotcha. Also, I need to correct something. Remy, when we were talking about the first campaign, so I need to correct something because I realized it in post when I was editing. So when you guys were stuck on the ship, what initially happened was that the ship captain was in the cage with you guys, and she was essentially hearing your guys' plan on how to escape, and then she walked out and locked you guys back in, hearing your plan. And what happened was, Will tried to intimidate her by taking off all of his clothes, apparently, and that did not
Yeah.
work.
That tracks.
It
That
didn't work.
tracks.
it didn't work simply because the fact that's because she was not into men.
It tracks for Will.
Yeah. No, I had that down in the notes, but I didn't want to say it during the episode because it's like, yeah, this is starting to go definitely down a more PG rabbit hole.
It
Like
was
with a
definitely
bunch of the
down
stuff
there.
that ended up happening on the campaigns.
And then I was reminded not too long ago about Greg getting branded that he forgot about, but I constantly remind him of.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. The things that we remind each other of when it comes to our games.
And then I still remember the what was it I think this might have been. Remember, you can probably correct me. I think this was Brian. Brian created that tidal wave out of that spit and holy water. I think it was.
It was Will and Greg.
It was okay.
And I can't remember who blessed it, but somebody blessed it. Like somebody blessed the spit.
That was Gabe. That was Gabe.
Okay, yeah, so Gabe did it as well.
Because I believe he was a
Shenanigans that
paladin.
happened.
Shenanigans are afoot. Always.
Always.
That's pretty much all it was.
Especially when it came to Greg and Will.
Yeah.
I cannot keep those two in check in any type of way.
You know, you tried.
I tried. When they were together, it's chaos.
It
And
didn't
then,
help that me and Remy most of the time just sat back and let it happen.
and then
Oh yeah.
then the one time that I think for Sep 3 people, and I think it was you, Remy, I think it was Josh, and I think it might have been Brent. So from what I understand, everyone was pretty much a little bit sour at me. I think except Mari was the short campaign we had with the Lich.
What, you mean the one where I absolutely twatted it in the face with the Relic of Beatrice?
Pretty much. And so to bring this story into light, just to give some more detail to it, we normally had a group of like 6 or 7, but I think everyone had to work overtime or something like that. We only had 3 players, so I want to just keep it short for that week. And so while they were getting their characters together, I was just scrolling through the monster book, and I hadn't fully read it like I was supposed to, and there weren't pictures in it, and I just saw Lich. I'm like, okay, this is something easy for them to fight, and they end up fighting it. But I didn't look at the spells that she knew, and I was realizing like, oh, well, we're already 5 minutes deep into this, and there's no way I can stop what I'm doing right now. So, and what I didn't realize that she had a paralyzing stare, and she also had disintegration as well. But I also didn't count the fact that Remy was gonna walk up to her and smack her across the face with the relic.
Hey, you let it, and it was amusing.
To give some context, the relic of Beatrice can only be held by someone who has their alignment is good. It cannot be obtained by evil means or touched by evil. It's purely a holy relic. And if something touches it that is not good or undead or evil, I believe. Remind me what the damage was, Remy.
Stand by. I will have to bring that up, but I'm pretty sure it was something like 12d6 or something like that.
Yeah, and the fact that the lich itself was undead made to a point that it was more than likely he's doing double damage to it. So he essentially, if it is 12d6, it's now 24d6.
Yeah, an evil or undead creature takes 8d6 radiant damage upon touching the relic.
Well, there we. So that was essentially 16 d6 damage he was doing. We didn't even have that much dice on us at the time, so we basically had to re-roll a bunch of dice.
This is when we were meeting up in person and we were like physically rolling dice.
Yep.
Good times. I miss those.
And I think Remy knocked it out in what, 2 rounds, I think.
Yeah, he did that a lot. He would just kill things quickly.
Honestly, my end, I didn't actually kill much. It was mostly, what was it? Uh, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, it was mostly just like other people that would end up just absolutely brutally murdering some of the creatures.
Oh, that's right.
I finally, because my computer is being weird, managed to open my D&D Beyond, and I have pretty much, I have 6 characters on here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them are half elves. And 3 out of those 4 are a rogue / thief. The other one is my other half elf is a sorcerer with draconic bloodline.
Nice, nice.
And then I have a human who's a sorcerer and a clockwork soul.
Is that Nico?
And then I have a no.
Yeah.
She was
Surprising.
a campaign I was doing with Mitch.
Okay.
Her name's Alvina. Didn't really do much with her. And then I have a fairy who's an artificer alchemist.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
But yes, most of the time it seems to be that I play a half elf rogue.
Nice, nice. So I ended up asking Remy this last time, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you: how did you get into D&D?
My dad.
Your dad?
I grew up a nerd. I grew up a nerd.
It's good to have the parents that are nerds.
I didn't actually start playing D&D. Like, my dad introduced it to me. He showed me he had all the D&D books and like all the classic D&D books and stuff like that. So like he told me about it. I didn't actually start playing it until college.
Okay.
And then I got roped into a couple games in one of my colleges.
Okay. That's
and
about
then somehow became a DM for all of them.
Forever the DM,
And
never
then
the
moved.
player.
Yeah, no, I got lucky on that one. You're forever the DM. If I stayed up here, yes, I probably would have been the forever DM. But since I moved down to Florida and I met all of you guys, I didn't have to be the forever DM anymore. I became the DM that also knows how to play characters.
So we're the problem.
Oh, I didn't say it was a problem. I didn't say it was a problem whatsoever.
I'm just pushing your buttons.
Any time I play with a group now, like if I mention, like if someone says like I really want to get into to Dungeons and Dragons, I'm like, oh, I play. I'm like, what do you play? I'm like, I primarily just DMs. Like, you can DM for us. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, you walk into that one usually.
Every single time.
Yeah. To be honest, though, the one character that you did have in our campaign, you made us kill off. Actually, you made me kill off.
Very, very, very true. And I actually liked that character. I kept him safe for a good while. So what you don't actually know. So the Huntsman was actually based off of the Huntsman from the Snow White movie. That the really like old one with Kirsten Stewart. He was based off of her.
Did you just call Did you just call that really old? Is that old?
The movie came out in like 2015, I think. Didn't it?
I'm looking it up now.
The one with Kirsten Stewart in it. I think it came out in 2015, I think.
2016.
Okay, I was a year off. So like yeah, I
It's
designed.
still old. It's yeah. It's a
I mean, it's 10
old.
years old at this point.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, 10 years old.
at
I know,
the
I don't like that either.
and like
Oh dear.
I really liked his design and the way he fought in the movie. I'm like, might as well let me go ahead and build a character off of him. And I didn't realize like how strong I had made him until I applied his the backstory to him, and like he increased the character extremely well. So, but I here's the thing with that whole situation with killing off my character. That was actually inspired by The Walking Dead. Actually, that they were at the time on I believe it was season 7 or 8, and one of the character they had gone to this cliffhanger before they jumped to the next season, and they had said to the audience that one of your favorite characters is dead. We're not telling which one it is, but one of them is dead. And I was like, okay, everyone's been pretty much saying like I wish I could play this, I wish I could play that. I'm like, okay, let's see if I can actually kill off one of them so they can actually do that. And all I remember saying that is that someone was going to die in the next campaign. Was everyone was just like, I've worked too hard on this character. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to lose my stuff. And I felt bad because I knew if I had killed someone, they're gonna have to start basically from scratch. But I did want to put that like that little bit of fear into there, I'm not going to kill you guys, but the opportunity of death is there. So just so you guys know, your bad choices can lead to result of death in some way, even though nobody did technically die. And I kept that up for about 2 weeks, I think. And everyone just kept coming up to me like, okay, who's dying? I'm like, I'm not telling who's dying. And then when the day of it showed up, like everyone was still hesitant about what's going to happen. And then when we got to the moment, I think the room was very, very quiet because somebody knew they were about to die. The only one I think was prepared with a new character, I think, was possibly Remy.
No, I mean I had ideas. We'd been chatting back and forth about ideas anyway. But we hadn't actually discussed making any new characters yet at that point.
Okay.
I always had characters on backup.
Because I believe the person, like, I forget who was all there for that one. I knew Remy, you were there, Mari, you were there. I think there were 4 other people that were there as well.
I think we were pretty much all there.
Everyone was
I
there?
Yeah.
want to say at that point, Mari, you were just a spectator at that point. You hadn't joined the campaign.
Yes, I haven't fully joined the campaign yet. I think I was just hanging out with you guys at that point.
Hmm.
I think
Something like
Raheem,
that.
you had me join in a couple times with random characters just to help out, but I hadn't actually fully joined you guys in playing D&D yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I was still newer to Gringotts and stuff at that point.
Because I'm looking back through the history on the Marauders page, and I'm looking and I'm finding where I had posted that like somebody's gonna die, and I'm looking at some of the comments on here.
Am I still named Cookie Wench on there?
Most likely.
You're still very much the Cookie Wench.
hate
How'd
that I
you
got
how'd
that
you get
name.
the Cookie Wench, by the way? I don't think I ever asked that.
It was during a session that Trevor was DMing actually. And I wasn't even like fully playing. I was just hanging out with you guys. And I was standing by the counter and somebody asked me for cookies. They're like, hey, can I have a cookie? And I think I opened every single box of cookies we had and like walked over with them with ease in my arms without dropping them.
Yeah, I was about to say you had like
Which cookies?
you had like one in each hand and like two on each arm.
Yeah, and I was like, and which cookie would you like, sir? Like, as a joke. I don't even remember who asked for the cookies.
Honestly, it might have been me.
Yeah, that would track. And then Greg turned around and went, "She's a cookie wench."
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and then it stuck.
Somebody got a nickname. I'm not sure who it was. That just like it stuck, and like I'm not sure who it was. They got a nickname. They didn't like it, but it stuck, and they eventually just went along with it. I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't yours, Mark. It was something else.
I know
I didn't
Greg
like
had his
it at
whole
first.
phase.
Greg's name changed 20,000 different times.
Oh, yeah.
He was Greg. He was a rock. He was Dwayne, I think.
He was a rock.
Yeah,
He's
he was
actually,
Greg the
I'm
Rock
bringing up
Johnson at
the
one point.
Fellowship of the Dorks right now, and he is still Dwayne the Greg. See.
I think I said the name Dwayne over a headset one time, and Greg knew exactly who I was talking to. But everyone's like, "There's nobody named Dwayne here."
It's like, oh, there
Will's
is. You just
name
don't know
always-
it yet.
Will's name was always changing too.
Oh man.
You know, I'm looking at some of our nicknames, and no one really. I don't remember anybody getting mad other than me. I wasn't really mad. I was just like, really, guys.
So someone in my other group, she had chose the name Nymphadora, but what happened was my mind wasn't reading what he was exactly saying, and I said, "Did you call her nymph?" And the word nymph is actually something very, very different. And I was like, you know, her name's Nymph from now on. She's like, don't call me that, like nymph. And it was a complete accident, by the way. It was a complete accident.
Call me Nymphadora.
But so what would you say is, like, for both of you, what was the most difficult thing I asked of you guys to do?
I'd say
I'm so mad at you
besides.
about the hoverboard. Honestly,
I'd
you
say
didn't really
besides-
ask me to do anything.
No, that's fair.
Was there a decision that I did in there that you were guys like, why did he do that?
I'm a fellow DM, so no, I didn't really question you.
See, I'd say on my end, besides the actual killing of your character in the campaign, I'd say actually inviting me to D&D was probably the, I guess, most difficult choice for me, because I don't like peopling, to use your phrase, Mari.
Out of all of us, I think you are the most introverted.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, like, I told you how I had everything had started. Like, wait, Mari, did I ever tell you how everything actually started?
Nope.
So how it all started, this was, I think, literally like in the middle of HHN or towards the end of it, and I think I was off one night, and Remy had invited me to, I believe it was TGI Fridays. I think it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we were at TGI Fridays.
Yeah, it was TGI
I
Fridays.
think it was me
and
and Greg and Will.
And it was Greg and Will were both there, and we had sat down for, I think, maybe, God, it must have been like 5 hours, I think. And we were all pretty much just talking the entire time. And then I don't know how the subject got onto. I think we might have been talking about Stranger Things, and then the subject of D&D had come up, and we started getting to that. And then that's when I put my foot in my mouth and said, like, I'm a DM. And it's like, you should be our DM. I was like, crap. And they were all like, well, do you still play? I'm like, I don't play that much because, like, I don't have like a group. And then I think we all just like pitched in. It's like, we'll rent a room at Cabana, and we'll play then. And it pretty much all just started down from there.
Yeah, that
Sounds
tracks.
about right.
It doesn't seem like like
Yeah.
an extravagant story, but that's pretty much how it all started right there. And the strange thing is that once what was it? Once Will, Greg, and Remy started playing, the amount of people that came up to me and were like, "Well, heard you playing D&D. Can I join?" I'm like, "Where is this coming from?"
Well, I think partially because we were chatting about it on headset in some cases.
And I must not have been on there
The
because people were
shenanigans that happened on headset.
true.
Yeah.
The amount of times the leads were like, "Okay, we need to keep it professional. Define professional."
Yeah, it's like sod being professional. We're having fun, we're being safe, and we're being quick.
And guess what? There has been no side saddle since we started this conversation, so that says a lot.
I think I only had one side saddle ever.
I think I
It was
only
like
had
right
like
after
maybe
I started.
yeah. I think I only had like two. Not ones that I was directly involved in. I was just in the area, but one of them I was in the booth for, and I accidentally backhanded one of our leads.
I thought I had sent one, and because like what was it? It was the OCC. The vehicle had already gone into like it was been ready to be sent out, and then all I hear is like zoom, and everything just shuts down. I'm like, what happens? Like there's a side saddle, and I'm immediately looking at the other side. Like no, it's on our side. I'm like, I was like, oh crap, did I send one?
Shit.
And then like no, it's in the background. I'm like, whew. But like I still felt bad, like because like the person's about to get in trouble. Like I felt relief for like a second. Like crap, okay, it wasn't me. Okay, I have a job for another week.
Oh dear.
And then there was I remember there was one incident where we lost cameras. We like lost the cameras to the left side, I believe, and they were literally just loading on the right side. And they had they had mentioned that they weren't able to see visually everything, and they needed someone else to be spotter. And I remember the leads were like, "No, we don't need an extra person. Like, we got it. Like, there's no be no issue." And I think an hour after that happened, I got a text message from someone saying like, "Hey, there was a side saddle." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" We had that position for that reason, so there wouldn't be one, and there ultimately ended up being one. And that was one of the most biggest
Sounds
"I
about right.
told you so" moments that I ever heard.
Yeah, that sounds about right for the bank, to be honest.
The amount of times the leads would make a decision and you would just sit there and just go, why?
Why?
You know what would have been a fun D&D campaign?
What's that?
An escape room type thing. Escape the bank.
So that was I'd actually consider that. I was considering making Universal, like you guys were like essentially Stranger Things kids, but you all had abilities, and your goal was to escape the Universal park, but you had to go through the worlds in order to escape. And your first world was going to be Gringotts. I had an idea,
Oh,
but I
that's
did not
great.
know how to write it though.
We always did have the same like wavelength when it came to D&D.
It the it seems like you knew how to write them, but I just like I had the idea and you know how to write them, but I again it's just it was easy to bounce stuff off of you because like you knew exactly how it should go, but the idea was
Yeah.
easy to come up with though.
I'm
I
now
just
sitting there thinking of how I would be able.
because the hardest part of as anybody will tell you who's DM, the hardest part of these campaigns is writing them, especially for a group that you know is extremely chaotic that will dive off they will go off every single path except for the path you set them on.
Correct. There's a lot of campaigns that have derailed because people are just like, ooh, shiny.
who who was it? Somebody told me about one. There there was one where they were all met up in this temple, and the priest was telling them something. They were essentially giving them the quest to do it, and someone in their group literally set fire to the temple, killing all the priests inside. So they could not even get the campaign started because they didn't know what to do. And I was like, how did you improvise for that? It's like he was like, I wasn't sure how to, because I mean, the only way they could have gotten the quest line was from the priest, and all the priests died in a fire with the temple.
Welcome to Dungeons, dumbasses.
Honestly, it really is.
And as much as I try sometimes to keep the story going solid the way it is, sometimes we go off on the tangent, and I'm like, you know what, this might be a good opportunity for them to get like a new weapon or a new ability or something like that. But sometimes it's like I need you guys to stay on the story because I have nothing else. I have literally nothing else except you guys stay on the story.
There
And
was a DMing that I did where my brain was all over the place, so I had like 30 different directions that these people could go in. And somehow, because this is how D&D works, they managed to pick the 31st way of doing things. And I was like, are you kidding me?
it could be the path of least resistance, but nope.
One of the path of most resistance.
Like, I don't even remember what the campaign was about. I just remember having so many different ways for them to go, and they still managed to pick a way that I didn't think of.
I What was it? I remember this story. What was it? It was something. So this was with my recent group that I'm with now. I was planning on doing this one for a couple for like a wedding if it ever came up. And essentially it was based off the haunted mansion and the 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 sci-fi thriller Ready or Not. So everyone knows the haunted mansion story, but the Ready or Not story is about this bride who gets married into this rich family, and in order for her to be brought into the family, accepted by the family, they have to play a game with the family and win, and then they're accepted into the family. So what ends up happening is that one of the games that she ends up playing, it's called hide and seek, which is the worst game that you can play because what happens is when she's hiding, the rest of the family, and it means the entire family, has to go out and find and kill her. So the way I had made the story up was that the characters were helping this couple who was eloping go into this castle to have this wedding. And what happened was the lord of the castle had to. Your goal was to free the lord of the castle, who was a vampire, cleanse his soul, and essentially free him from from the death's grip at that point. But in order to find these clues to it, you had to play games in the castle, and if you failed, there were death traps involved.
This seems very elaborate.
It was. It took me, I think, what was it, 3 weeks to write this, and it was very very difficult. And I went off on so many tangents with them because a lot of them were not good at problem solving, especially with games. So it was very very difficult. Like we spent one campaign over this mind dream sequence that they had because they weren't listening to the instructions I was giving them.
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But eventually they figured it out an hour and a half later, though. Like I said, it took a while. But there was
So,
bunch of
while
good
I'm
times.
talking to you guys, I happen to be scrolling through Facebook, and I come across this post, and it says, Faxi Bard, I would like to hide. DM, roll your check. Bard, fuck, 8, wait. DM, raised eyebrow. Can I roll a persuasion check against being found? Interesting, go on. Bard, you saw nothing. I am Ham, and it is a picture of a cat inside a fridge.
Jesus.
I can see that happening in one of our games.
It's like the barbarian rolling intimidation to stealth, you know, see Crod.
Yep.
The one thing I was never able to get you guys to do, and I think Remy was the one person that was like tempting me to do it the most, was he I don't know why he wanted me to put this on you guys. He wanted me to have you guys fight a Taras for like the longest time. And I actually read the stats on the Taras. I'm like, nobody's going to survive if they fight this. No one is.
I wasn't saying to fight a Tarask. I was just interested in the Tarask itself, not to fight it because I know that we all died. Like even if we had the ship with all
the amount of times somebody did something, and I would look at Raheem, and he would just be like, have this look on his face, like, "Oh shit, you're all gonna die," and yet somehow we all lived.
A lot of those times, my mercy was more stronger than my conviction, because
There was a time where I don't know what we did, but you were just like, I don't know how you all lived. It wasn't my choice for all of you to live. And I went, what?
Yep.
What do you mean it wasn't your choice? It's like, it wasn't my choice.
As I said, my mercy was stronger than my conviction.
No, I think your response to that one time was, because I did ask, what do you mean it wasn't your choice? And you're just like, the dice gods wanted you to live.
Because like
dice giveth and taketh away.
Because there were times where I was rolling, like you guys were like very, very injured, like you guys are hurt, and I'd be rolling like nat 20s, and I'm like, I cannot do this, because if I do, they're gonna die. And like the only healer in this group is Remy, and he's pinned down right now. Because that's primarily what it was, because I don't think anybody played healer, I think except Remy.
I wanted to cause chaos, so why would I be a healer?
To be honest with that as well, it was also my first time playing D&D, so I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go hit it.
There again.
Just hit it.
There were a lot of times like, and Mari heard me say this multiple times, where someone go to do something like, sure you want to do that? You sure? Think about it. Like really, just think about what you're doing.
And then I would have to turn to them and just go, if he is questioning you doing this, you really don't want to do it. I learned that very, very quickly.
And there were a couple times.
The DM is smiling. The DM is smiling and or questions you doing something. Do not do it.
And there was a couple times that somebody called my bluff, and I'm like, I'm proud of you. Like, you called my bluff, and
when
you know what?
If you asked, are you sure you want to do this? I would always look at your facial expression. Because if you were smirking, no, they didn't want to do it. If you just had a casual, are you sure? I would be like, yeah, they can call his bluff.
Because like a lot of times, I set out traps for you guys to get into, but the big problem that was constantly an issue was that before you guys even got into those traps, you got injured or caught in something you weren't supposed to. And I'm like, if I activate this trap on them and they fail, they're gonna be crippled for the final battle.
All the shenanigans. I'm pretty sure one of us was always crippled anyway.
In some type of way, yes. Either dazed or stunned or something, or pinned down in some type of way.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But the one thing that was a constant was if there was a bard in our group, he was rolling for persuasion or just to try and seduce, no matter who it was.
Oh,
I was gonna say seduce. I think it was Brent.
It was usually Will. Or Brent. It was either Will or Brent.
Because
I think we had two bards. It was Dare and Brent, and Dare didn't really do any of that, but Brent I think did like a couple times.
Dare sang one time, I
This
think.
is a lot.
Yeah, I've got the recording of that.
Bad.
I was not around for that one. I do remember playing with Dare, but I was not around for him singing, and I really wish I was.
Because I think Dare played
that was
twice.
one of the last time. He came a couple times, but I think he only really played like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Because I think you played the one time it was you, Will, Josh, and Brent. Because he had to leave early because I still have the picture from that. And then he played another one when I was living with Josh and Sean. And he stayed for a while with that one. And now I remember why. I remember why he was singing, because he was sitting next to Ricardo and he was giving Ricardo bardic inspiration and Ricardo started rapping. Now I remember why.
Yeah, you also said, all right, do it then. Like, give him bardic inspiration.
Ricardo usually did some really stupid things too.
But they turned out to be hilarious, for me at least.
Yeah.
Do you remember the end of the Bloodfist campaign? He never actually fought Bloodfist because he got into the cave and just laid face down, accepting his fate because he thought he was going to die from a barrel of fool's gold.
I did not.
And technically,
remember
he's
that.
still there in the campaign. It was like the last day of the campaign.
Oh my god! Wait, somebody in the group was owed a debt. I'm not sure who it was, and they were being followed because of that debt. Who was that?
Yeah, Ricardo.
That was Ricardo. Okay.
So yeah, Ricardo, if I remember correctly, Ricardo had a debt. Did some like shady things and got a debt. Basically was told, if you do not repay the debt within, it was like 7 days or something like that, like you will die. And what was it? I think I had like a rod of conjure something or other, but I could make like liquid metals. So we filled up a barrel with fool's gold to try and pay off his debt. But it turns out they couldn't actually enforce any of it. Like, it was a null and void contract. They were just doing it to scare his character. Because it was the end of the campaign, he basically was like, all right, well, I'm dead anyway, so I'm just going to lie face down on the ground and just die.
And it all turned out to be just one giant prank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're at the, basically the award ceremony at the end where we're getting, celebrated for defeating Bloodfist, and he's back in the cave, just wallowing.
I was wondering how long I could keep that up, but eventually I knew we would have to nip that in the bud eventually.
He's still there, basically.
It's always funny to think about
later.
characters that you've left behind, and you're just like, technically, they're still there. They're never leaving. We closed the book on the campaign. They're just stuck there.
And Greg is still a rock.
I was going to say, Greg is still a rock. I don't think he was there for the final fight, so he is still in Brock form.
I'm looking up now and I don't see his name.
He's still a rock.
Yeah, so
my God.
without naming the franchise, because I'm pretty sure they would eventually find out and litigation into the ground. But no, yeah, basically, he got turned into a certain summoning item.
You're gonna have to explain that to me off screen later, because I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I can. Oh,
no, go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say, because Greg wasn't there for a bunch of sessions, so in order to keep him with us, so that when he did pop up, it's like, oh hey, I'm still with the party, and not 3 countries over. We turned him into a rock to just keep moving with him.
He was easy to
And it
travel
was just-
around with.
pretty much, and it was just the Greg, I summon you.
I'm surprised none of you used him in a sling.
I
or
believe
something
you
like that.
actually said that at one of the campaigns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Greg was like, "Hey, where's my character?" And you're just like, "Greg, I summoned thee." You handed him a rock, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah, because Will had a rock with him because of that reason.
Yeah.
So like there was one thing. So my group that I'm with now, this is how they got their introduction to my play style. I had put them in a village, and what happening was the mayor of the village was people were starting to get taken in the middle of the night, and they were just missing. They couldn't find them, and eventually they found out that the mayor was the one who was doing it. He was kidnapping the kids so he could eventually get stronger. But what happened was the mayor was a werewolf, and this is how they found out how gritty I pretty much get. They went to go confront the mayor, and what ended up happening was when they were at the door, they were getting ready to literally kick the door in. They started hearing sounds in there, and one of them ended up kicking the door open. And what they saw, because I wanted them to open the door, not kick it, what they walked in on was the mayor in wolf form with another wolf, and they were mating. And they both stopped and looked at me and like, yeah, this is what you get for not knocking. And they were like, and they were just so caught off guard. I'm like, this is what you get for not knocking. This is a rule that's constantly in this game. Don't kick down doors, you knock.
Kick it. Do.
And even now, when we're playing now, they still go back to that. It's like those werewolves still they still PTSD. I'm like, this is what you get for not knocking.
Yep.
Dear.
Yeah, that tracks with you as a DM.
I mean, they end up winning the fight, obviously, but say again.
That really does track with you as a DM.
I try to make it as easy as possible at times, and like, if you want to be gung ho, there's a reason why Greg got branded in the first place.
That was some funny session.
There were a lot of good times.
Yeah. I'm going to be right back. One moment. I'm just going to run to the bathroom.
Gotcha. So, Mari, are you still playing? Are you playing D&D up there, or are you still like it's still a pause?
I'm on pause right now. I do have a group I can play with. I just haven't really cared to play. They're also in the middle of the session, so I'm waiting until they end and start a new one.
Gotcha. The group I'm playing with now, I am for a rare time, I am not DMing this session. I'm playing as a character. What is it? I'm playing as a. You know, it's been a long time, and I almost forgot how to actually be a player. And like it's so difficult because they still stop and pause at times. Like, hey, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, you can. Like I'm still used there as a reference, but the thing is that they don't have a party leader that's like making plans and getting them ready to do like certain things. So I literally have to be that person who's the party leader, because I was expecting someone to like be like that. Okay, we're going to do this, and I'm just going to be there for like emotional support. But when it comes down to it, I actually have to be the party leader and make plans. Even though I'm a chaotic neutral rogue, I still have to make plans for them. Like as of right now, we're in a town where it's just completely consumed by drugs, and the goal is, so we were all framed by the son of the mayor that we killed his dad when he actually did it on someone's orders. And so what we did was we went out of town and found some rival gangs and told them like, hey, this guy's going to go, this guy's trying to actively kill you guys. He sent us here to kill you. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the town up. You guys go in there, take him out, and the town is yours pretty much. That's the ultimate goal.
Nice.
But I'm split from the party. This is what I told them to do. My goal right now is to make sure that the townspeople are not taken out. Even though I basically told the group, like, I don't care if they die. I don't. And they're all looking at me and they don't realize, like, I'm talking in character. I don't actually actively mean that in myself. Because
Yeah.
one of the players is like, are you being serious or are you being character? I'm like, I'm in character right now. Because like she likes arguing with me when I need you to understand, when I'm playing character, I'm playing a character. I care about these people as a person. I don't care about them as a character. And my goal initially is to try and convince the town folks to stay in their building, pretty much their homes, don't come out when the town is getting sacked. But if they don't do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like poison the water supply. So essentially what's going to happen is they're going to all be put to sleep. And while they're asleep, the town's going to get sacked. That's just the backup plan.
That's fair. Good backup plan.
And while I was making this plans in front of the DM, he's looking at me like, how do you come up with this stuff? I'm like, this is why I'm the DM and not the player. Because if I play, I'm going to make elaborate plans that you're not going to understand, and I'm going to end up beating your plans. This is why I DM and I don't play.
Correct. That's also why I usually didn't do too much stupid shit, because I knew I could come up with weird plans. And I went, you know what? I'm just going to go with whatever Raheem has cooked up.
A lot of times I do have a good plan. Sometimes the plan backfired. Like I think there was one instance where my plan completely backfired, and because I had intended the fight to go much longer than I suspected, and you guys cleared that out in I think like 10 minutes. Like the rounds were extremely quick, and you guys just blew through it. I'm like, I expect that to go a lot longer than I suspected, but everyone was just so like coordinated and everything, which I was very proud of. But it was like, I didn't expect you guys to get through this that quickly, because you've only been fighting for like 10 minutes, and we're literally only 20 minutes in a session. We still have another hour left.
I don't know how we got anything done at our sessions, to be honest. We got off track a lot.
A lot. I think it was either, I want to say probably Josh or Remy or you that pretty much kept the group going forward pretty much.
I think it depended on the week.
Usually on the week.
Because like there were some weeks where I was all over the place and did not care.
and like there.
To be fair, it would had to be Josh most of the time, because I would get Remy off track.
Yeah, you'd get me off track quite a lot, but it was always fun.
Hey. Hi.
Hi there. So I just popped back in, so I have no idea what the context is.
How we got anything done at our D&D session?
We didn't.
There be
some weeks where we did.
Oh yeah, but there was also some weeks where we had 13 of us, and it took us 7 hours to do one round.
Yeah, I learned from that session. That was completely on me. And what I should have done is the thing was, I didn't know how to say no when I should have said no, and that no turned to 13 people in one round of combat. So like, yeah.
I think at that point, most of us had some beverages of choice at that point.
Yeah, that too.
So most of us were a bit out of sorts at that point.
Alcohol played a big factor in a lot of these.
Oh yeah.
It really did.
It was
Like,
fun though.
Remy, I think you still have some of the photos of like the aftermath of us all playing, and I still look at some of them like, God, what happened?
Aftermath, not so
Some
much.
interesting photos. I definitely have some
most-
interesting photos.
Oh yeah. Also, you'll have to show them at some point because I have no idea what the hell happened in half those photos.
Like,
Like most of the ones I have are all like in the middle of a session going on.
I made sure to leave the house cleaning a very nice tip because every time we played, we left a big mess every single time.
We left a lot
Yeah.
of trash in the bins. We didn't leave a mess. We actually
True.
cleaned up after ourselves.
Yeah, we were
I'm
good
not-
about cleaning up after ourselves.
Because I think, what was it? We filled up the one trash can, but we had like 2 or 3 bags wrapped with the stuff in there. And there were like maybe 3 or 4 boxes. No, there were like 3 boxes of chicken, but like 7 boxes of pizza.
Yeah.
That's about right. We did get a lot of pizza, but then again, we did have that Papa John's right down the road.
True.
We also ate through pretty much all of that pizza.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
Like I remember multiple times going, okay, it's Let me go get a slice. I open up like pretty much all the boxes, and it's like, where the hell did all the pizza go? There's like 10 boxes here, and there's 5 of us.
I remember that. Like
Yep.
there was one time. What was it? There were maybe 7 of us. We had ordered like I think 8 pizzas. We had 3 boxes of chicken from Publix, maybe 8 sodas, 6 bags of chips, and I think 4 bottles of alcohol. By the time we woke up the next morning, there were 2 bags of chips left, 1 box of pizza that was half empty. All the chicken was gone, and like 2 bottles of alcohol had been gone through.
Yeah. Well, I know every time that we did meet up, I knew personally I was going to bring like a bottle of Jack down with me, but also 2 bottles of Coke.
Yep, every single time.
Yeah.
It was
The amount of
either
alcohol that we would go through.
I'm surprised our livers didn't roll for initiative every time that we got in there.
and the one thing I also wanted to make sure that after each session, I want to make sure that anybody who was tipsy, like you're staying over, like nobody's driving home like drunk at all.
I think most people stayed. I think me and Remy were most of the time the only ones that went home.
I know. For the most part, I always grabbed a second room, so we had
Yeah.
that extra space.
Yeah, like I pretty much stayed in
Yeah,
the
we
room
always
as
had
well.
2 rooms between the 2 of us.
Yeah.
I think I only stayed over once.
At least in the early sessions, anyway.
Yeah, I stayed over once. And I think I only stayed over because I was having something was going on and personally, and I just was drinking. And I
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Even if I did drink a lot, I always carpooled, so
Mm.
I never.
Yeah, it
had
was
to
mostly
actually
with
drive.
90% of the time it was with me.
I know. Yeah, and as long as you didn't drink too much, I was good to go.
Yeah, we ran. We
No,
ran through
I always.
we ran through so
Yeah,
many
I was
bottles of
gonna say-
alcohol.
Especially towards like, although I do remember the very first session that we had, it was unfortunately on the day that Stan Lee passed away, so there was a lot of bottles being drunk, plus other stuff personally that was going on between a bunch of us. So it was like, you know what, poor.
Dude,
Yeah, I
when we
wasn't around for that one.
this was the
Dude,
very
that
this
was-
was the first initial. Well, this was
That was
technically. So this was technically the second one, but this was the first like initial Marauders
this-
one.
This was session 0.
Yeah.
This was the original one because it was me, you, Will, and Greg, and then without naming names, other people joined in on us. I don't know. Between me and you, we just started pouring drinks.
Stan Lee, skull.
Yeah. Yeah, I was still working at Disney then.
Yeah, you hadn't popped up at Universal yet.
Nope, I know I was still working at Disney because I got a text message from somebody just going, check the news, and I went, what kind of text message is this? Especially since it was from somebody that I don't talk to too often. And I was like, that's really cryptic, especially coming from you. And they're like, just check the news. And I did. And then I spent the rest of my shift at work sad.
That was a rough night. It really was. It was a rough night.
Especially since I was working in a Marvel area that day.
Oh, you were? Oh, man.
Well, I was merchandise when I worked at Disney, so I could work anywhere. And I just happened to pick up a shift at the Marvel store that day.
Yeah, that was probably a very bad day for that.
How was I supposed to know?
We would never know. And I think after that session 0 we had, what was it? We didn't do one for, I think, another month. But within that month, though, I must have had maybe a dozen people come up to me asking, like, we know you play D&D. Can we play? I'm like, where are all these people coming from? And it's like, okay.
But you summoned everyone.
And I'm very introverted. At the time, I was very introverted at work. I didn't talk to a lot of people. I really didn't. And a bunch of people walking up to me, asking me to play. I'm like, okay, 1, I don't know who you are because I didn't talk to a lot of people. And 2, how did you hear about this?
Because some of the people we play with have big mouths.
Yeah.
And the strange thing was, the only time I actually knew people, the ones I didn't talk to, was because I saw their name tag, and it was like, do you like? We didn't know you played D&D. I'm like, I do, but I don't know who you are though. They were like, well, like Greg told me you guys were playing.
People's name tags. Yep, there it is, Greg.
He was like, Greg told me you guys were playing, or like Will told me you guys were playing, or Remy and Will were talking about this. I'm like, okay. And I think what brought this big surge of it was, I think either it was definitely Stranger Things, but I think it was like the 3rd season that came out, and people were like really big into playing. And once they realized people were playing, they just jumped on it immediately.
Yep. I just found out a couple people at my work play. Now I need to track down who they are.
Summon the Horde.
Well, because we can order our own special stationery, and one of my coworkers was working on one of them. I was like, oh, it's a D20. She just goes, what game is that? I go, oh, D&D. She goes, oh, yeah, that makes sense with him. He plays with like 3 other people that work here. And I went, excuse me? Who are my fellow D&D nerds at work? I already know they're a bunch of nerds in general. But I want to know who my D&D nerds are.
I will say on my point, I am slightly sad. My group, we haven't been able to get together for the last... This will be 4, going on 5 months.
Ooh.
And
That's rough.
considering the fact that we also played every single Sunday for almost 2 years, this has been rough. And I get why. So in my group, we've got 2 DMs. One of them is Justin, who we used to play with, but the other one is one of his friends. his friend recently he's our main DM, but he recently got promoted at work, which good for him. Glad that he's got that. But it does mean that as of right now, he has sporadic days. So it's just been
Ooh.
we haven't been able to do anything, and it's slightly annoying because we left off on such a pivotal story point. Like we're about to start tracking down the BBEG, or at least the first one. Apparently, there's multiple like seasons per se in this, and this is the first one.
We usually always end on like a very good note, and then we usually never come back to it, and it hurts.
It does.
That's what happened with our Disney campaign.
Yep.
We ended at such a good spot, and then we just never picked it back up again.
Because where were you
To be
guys
honest,
at?
a bit of a plague.
I think you
plague
guys were
did
about
kinda
to do
get-
Aladdin, weren't you?
Yeah, we were about to
I
do
think-
Aladdin.
I think so. Yeah, like if I remember correctly, the ship had just crash landed in the desert, and we were outside
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yep, we are literally just about to do Aladdin.
You know what? Maybe we can actually start it up again. We'll see. And I'll just have you guys start at there, if we ever have the time to actually do it over again.
Well, I would definitely have time. It's not that. I was just thinking about who was involved in it.
Maybe we'll find some new recruits. We'll figure it out. Like
Honestly,
again, I
I
don't
think that would
mind.
be a nice campaign. It would be a
I
nice
mean-
campaign to start over.
True.
Hmm.
We could literally start at Beauty and the Beast and just start from we could start at Beauty and the Beast and just start from there and just jump from each, because I think I have all the info from Beauty and the Beast to Treasure Planet to Aladdin I have everything pretty much already set for those worlds already. I have to find the paperwork, but I'm pretty sure I can easily find all of it.
We
So-
basically Kingdom Hearts did.
Pretty much. Let's see if we can get 2, possibly 3 players, I don't mind doing it. I really don't. My schedule's good on the weekends. It's like, again, and we can honestly play it over Discord
Yeah.
as well either. So like if we can
Well,
find
we'd
2,
have to play it over Discord.
Yeah.
true.
If we did decide to jump back into it as well, there's a good site called Roll20, which I know I've used on with my D&D group. It is rather nice.
Yeah.
So folks, stay tuned. We might be having a Discord session over on the live, because you'll be able to tune into our somewhat sophomoric antics.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would be fun.
it's definitely not going to be PG.
Oh,
Nope.
it
No, it is
usually
not.
never is.
Oh no, and there will definitely be drinks involved, most likely.
Every time.
Yep, but on our own accord. It will definitely
yeah.
be on weekends though. Either that or like late at night, because like I work basically a 9 to 5 type job, so
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if I'm going to record them or not. I depends on how it goes, but more than likely we'll just end up playing, and then I'll do a post show on YouTube. What happened, pretty much. And if there's interest, then we might record and upload. But for now, I think we'll probably just end up playing. But on that note, I think we can wrap this episode up. We had a very, very good talk.
yeah.
Yeah, so we did.
Good to relive all these memories. Mari, I'm glad that you were here for this one. I wanted to make sure specifically that you were here for it.
Yes. I always love talking about D&D.
And I knew you wanted to get that story out. I wanted to make sure exactly for that reason.
Yeah. Because I will forever be mad at you for that.
Hopefully I can make it up in this session if we do get to play again.
If we get to restart this, I really hope you make that up to me.
I would definitely make it up to you. I definitely will.
if we do end up doing this, I don't know if I'd go with Charisse again, just a more refined version, or if make a new character.
I would definitely make a Pirate from Treasure Planet again. I don't even know if I have the notes for whoever. Oh, wait, no, it might be her. Never mind, found her.
Oh, that was quick.
Well, because I was trying to remember, I brought my D&D Beyond up. I was trying to remember where this person came from, and now I do. She's one of my half-elf rogues.
Nice. All right. With that being,
she's at level 5.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think you guys starting at level 4 and 5 would be good. If we get completely green new players, I'll have them probably start at level 3. But I think you and Remy would be good at level 5. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As we wrap this episode up, you guys have any last remarks?
Huh?
Don't annoy a lich or a Tarask. Or the DM.
Specifically,
yeah, I'm
the
gonna
DM.
Go with don't annoy the DM.
If the DM smiles, it's already too late.
As I reach into my
don't
barrel,
annoy the DM, and my dad just looks at me and
as I reach into my barrel of D20s, like, okay, it's finally time.
Oh, you would have an oil drum of D20s.
But knowing my luck, they'd all be natural ones.
Good for us.
hey, that's great for us.
And with that, we're going to close this episode out. We want to thank everyone for joining us for another episode. And we'll probably be here next week with another episode. But for now, we'll say goodbye.
Have a good one.